Hello, hello, hello. This is your boy Iron Boxing coming through with this my 53rd live. Um, I hope you're all having a great day, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be. Jay Will, how you doing, brother? God bless you. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. Absolutely. Um, how you doing today? As you can see on the uh, screen there's Fury and AJ. Um, Let me put right off the bat the question of the day, right? Do you still want to see this fight right here? Yes, no, or maybe so. Let's see. Still see Fury versus AJ. There we go. How you doing, Jay Will? Hope you're having a great day, sir. Um, let's start our stream the way we always start it. That's with the Lord's Prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Thank you, God, for everything. I hope you all had a great week, and I hope you all have a great weekend ahead. We have some great stuff coming up. We have John Cena's last match. Yes, we have Diego Pacheco. We have Joe Cordina. We have a UFC fight night. A bunch of things. But I want to talk about a few other things, right? Um, I want to talk about how Francis Ngannou and Ronda. Jay Will says, "I'd rather see this fight than Usyk." Oh yes, come on, Usyk versus Wilder. What's up with that? Like, I got a question for you, Usyk. And I've been a defender of yours forever. But here's my question to you, Alexander Usyk.
Dastardly work. What's up with that?
That's my question to you, Usyk. What's up with that? Like, I don't understand why he's fighting, even fighting anymore. Like, I don't understand that. But I mean, I guess he be the only dude to beat all three of them. I guess. Oscar, you saw that, huh? That's my question for Usyk. Hurricane Shane Helms. I actually like the guy. I love the guy. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is weird stuff, guys. Weird stuff. Like I said, maybe there's something to be said for being the only dude to beat all three of them, the three quote unquote kings, rather, right? Um, but nah. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's earned the right to fight whoever he wants to, but I don't know, not like this, right? Not like this. I don't like it. But okay. Let's go to Oscar says it's understandable in the stand of it's understandable in the stand of beating the big, yeah, exactly, the big three of the last era, and he did the best of the new era at the time. That was Triple D. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's like the only angle that I can think of now. Deontay Wilder's coming off a win against Tyrell Herndon, but you know what? Whatever. You know, I I can't defend this, but I mean, he has put in some work, guys. He's beat everybody, and he's so nice. He's done it twice, so I'll give him the benefit, somewhat of the benefit of the doubt. As hard as it is. Um, but I want to talk about Francis Ngannou and Ronda Rousey just trashing, doing their best to just trash their legacies, respectively. by being just bona fide, certified dumbasses. Um, who should I start? Let me start with Francis Ngannou, okay? Let me start with Francis Ngannou. Um, just embarrassing himself. Because we got to remember, Ngannou, Dana White, what Dana White said about Francis Ngannou, this is a pretty serious accusation, right? Um, like, let me see if this is the. Let's see if I can find the video. Give me 1 second, okay? Um, yeah, here it is. All rights goes to the name of the channel, which is what is the name of the channel? UFC Dash Unplugged. Okay. Oscar says question. What's worse, fighting Usyk fighting Wilder or Inoue fighting Doheny? I mean, I would say the worst is Usyk because he has so many great options. I don't think Inoue had that many options to choose from, right, Oscar? I could be wrong. You know those smaller weights way more than I do, right? But I don't think um, I don't think let me think about this because Usyk, had Caballel, he had Joe Parker, he had Fabio Wardley, like he had good options. In a way, I don't know if he had many good options. Um, so probably it's worse the Usyk one, but Usyk is okay. It's in a way it's worse because in a way Usyk is doing this at towards the end, right? Right, right, exactly. At the time, Inoue could have fought MJ, Nakatani. Oh, John Riel Casemiro as well. I forgot about him. And not only that, the Inoue did this in his prime. Like if Usyk was doing this in his prime, and Deontay being the way he is, but I would have more of a problem with it than I do now, and I have a big ass problem with it now. But not for nothing, Usyk is doing this at the tail end of his career. Usyk is no spring chicken. Inoue did this at like what 27, 28 years old or something like that. So could be Inoue the worst one. I don't great what God damn Oscar's coming with the dagger question as usual. It's a great question, man. Which one of the two is worse? Um, Inoue from the standpoint of he did that at his prime, not at a late stage or whatever, as opposed to Usyk. But Usyk's got a way deeper division. Like he has way more options than Inoue had, in my opinion. So I guess you can juggle the two angles. Jay Will says TJ Doheny fought me. Yes, that was even worse because Nick the wrecking dirty ass ball. He's leaving my guy Mirko Cuello hanging. Mirko Cuello's been the interim champion for quite a while now, and Nick Ball fighting TJ Doheny and Sam Goodman, who pulled out twice against Naoya Inoue. And meanwhile, Mirko Cuello is hovering around with his dick in his hand. Like I don't understand that. So don't even get me started with Nick Ball. Kickball, kickball. I love that. Yeah, kickball. Junta was in 118. Yes, that's true. Jay Will says Wilder should be fighting Chisora or somebody like. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Wilder getting in there with Francis Ngannou, who I'm about to get into. But like from Tyrell Herndon straight up to Usyk, bro, you talk about a gift, man. Talk about a gift. But listen, Wilder at least was somebody at one point. TJ Doheny, not so much, you know. So I guess it depends how you look at it, because there's a case to be made for Usyk being the worst, and there's a case to be made for Inoue being the worst. This is just off the top of my head, obviously. Great question. That's all, as always. El Carnal Oscar says, Junto been asking for the Inoue fight for 2 years. Yes. Inoue response was fight my BS. Brother, yes. Yeah. Uh, yes. Inoue in history ain't the best. He took forever to fight MJ and Medallia. Now he did it, and he did it flawlessly. Okay. But I don't know now. Yeah, Inoue has got some skeletons in his closet. As great as he is, and he is great, fellas. But I don't know. I don't know. Great question. 2 pound for pound fighters. Um, I don't know. There's a case to be made for for both. I guess I can make the case for Rousey, and I can make the case for Inoue being the worst choice. Depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Jay Will says Junto never unified a division up to that point. I think that's right, right? Because he finally did it against Ryosuke Nishida. But let's see. Oscar says Japan was behind the Junto fight. If you're gonna say Luis Neri, Doheny, King, oh Jisung Kim are better opposition than yeah, no, that's insanity. No way, no way. Luis Neri is pretty good, but he lost to Brandon Figueroa, and I mean he dropped Naoya Inoue, not for nothing. He did himself proud in that fight. But exactly. And Jay Will says MJ got cooked so much for the Dog Talk fans I mean, yeah, I mean MJ made a whole spiel, and not only him, Eddie Hearn too, about Naoya Inoue dogging him and this and that, which may or may not be true, but you didn't show me anything in the fight, brother. Like he fought like he was the champion, and Naoya had to take the title from him. That don't work that way, buddy. Oscar says all them guys were in the exactly. We're not in the top 10 when Inoue fought. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you do that once or twice, I don't mind it. Everybody takes like a like a chill out fight every now and then, but yeah, those were like back to back. Now, Jisung Kim, I will say this, Oscar. I believe Jisung Kim was a late replacement to Sam Goodman, right? And who's the other one? Let's see. Who's the Luis Net? Well, Luis Net. I'm not gonna. Doheny, nah. Doheny, I cannot defend. But Jisung Kim, at least, if I'm not mistaken, he was a late replacement to Sam Cutman. He always gets cut in sparring. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the reason. Um, Jay Will says Inoue is fighting 4 times this year in June to fight early 2026. Baranus, that's true. Yeah, both legends that do only one fight a year since 2019. Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. But Bud Crawford and Usyk are older. Jay Will, they're older than Inoue, and they put in work already now. Obviously, Crawford has 40 plus fights. I think it's like 43 fights or something. Usyk not so much, because we all know that Eastern Europeans, they come from an extensive amateur, background. Viterbi is in the 20s in the fights as well. Same as Bivol, same as Loma, same as Usyk. You know, they're in the 20s fighting. They don't have 40 plus fights in the professional ranks or anything. So we need to take that into account because on the activity side, you have to give it to Naoya anyway, but we gotta consider all things, in that regard, because Inoue got at least 5 years ahead of him if he wants to. Bud and Usyk not so much, you know. Jay Will says, "What sucks though is when you only fight once a year, exactly, and it's guys like Wilder or David Avanesian." Yeah, that's for damn sure. Like, give me Caballel, bro. Give me Caballel. If you don't want to see Caballel, give me Fabio. If you don't want to see Fabio, give me fucking I don't know. Give me fucking Joe Parker. Give me fucking the heavyweight division is so deep, bro. Like, give me something. And listen, if you still want to do Wilder, but make him somewhat earn it, have Wilder fight Ngannou, and then if he comes out of that in one piece, then fight, I don't know, give him somebody. And then we could talk, you know. Wardley, yeah, that's another one. Absolutely. Give me Fabio Wardley, like he has options to choose from, but he doesn't feel like, I think that he thinks that he doesn't feel the need to do those type of fights anymore, you know. And I can't say that I blame him. Is it okay? Maybe not. But at this stage of your career, bro, you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I'm not gonna be too mad at it. Not really. Oscar says, honestly, Caballero versus Wardley, low key, the biggest fight of the next generation. Interesting. Um, Caballero versus Fabio Wardley. Uh, well, I was gonna say Moses Itama, right? But I think Moses is gonna take a little bit of time. I don't. They have him number one already, so they want to put him through the wood chipper already for whatever reason, But I was about to say Moses Itama and Ajit Caballero, you know. But Worthy and Caballero, yeah, I'm not bad at that at all. That would be a great fight, honestly. Um, Wardley stopped Parker, the same Parker who schooled Wild. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That doesn't necessarily mean that Fabio would beat Deontay, though. But you know how the triangle thing works, right? But yeah, he did. And I don't know, Thank you for saying that, Jay Will, because I've seen a lot of people and big nose, dumbass, Ariel Hawani included. They were saying that Parker was winning every second of that fight before he, like that's not true. Not in my opinion. Like I had it 5-5 at the 10th round when the stoppage happened. I had it 5-5 personally. Okay, so a Jagba versus Triple D. Ooh. Oscar, the one that I really wanted to see was Caballel versus Triple D. That's the one that I really wanted to see. You know, but F.A. Jagba versus Triple D, bro. Sign me up, brother. Sign me up for sure. Um, Oscar says Itama is good as a prospect, but to me, he's not too battle tested. That's true. His resume has some relevant names, but he's also been in the UK nursery. Talking about Dillian White, right? The UK nursery home. I love it. That was cool, but true. But true. Yeah, I mean, he's fighting Jermaine Franklin now, which is not a huge step up in competition. After Jermaine Franklin, I expect nothing less than a Hergovich. You know, nothing less. Don't be trying to pull a Chisora on me, Ital. Don't do that, okay? Don't be fighting no damn Derek Chisora. Don't be fighting no damn what's his name? Fucking what's the name of this guy? Damn. Okay, let's just compromise that Chisora for now. Okay, don't be fighting no Otto Wallin. Don't be fighting no. I don't want to hear that shit. Hergovich up. Okay, Hergovich up. That's what I expect from you after you dispatch Mr. Franklin. Okay. Okay. Now I want to show you something. I was gonna start with Francis Ngannou. I think we should start with Ronda Rousey because this is some real stupid shit. Okay, real entitled, bougie, whatever you want to call it, BS. And this is no surprise. These two are one of the greatest frauds in combat sports. Yes, I did say that. Okay. Um, where is it? 1 second, please. 1 second. What the heck am I? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it because this is real bad stuff. I've seen both these videos today. Um, live friends and one second, one second, one second. Here's the video. What the hell? Where is it? Oh, okay. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. One second. One second. No, this is next level stupid, guys. Next level stupid. Oscar says Ronda Rousey been on the blame. Exactly, exactly. My goodness. It's oh my god. It's painful because you're the last person that should be complaining about anything, Ronda. You got opportunities on top of opportunities. Seriously? Like in the UFC and in the WWE. You won the first ever women's main event on WrestleMania. What the fuck are you complaining about? Seriously. Whatever. Let me. I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me put the freaking, the thingy here about the copyright and whatever. Give me 1 second, because this is really bad, guys. This is oh my god. Like when you don't know what to say, but you have to say something, and you just made a complete ass of yourself type shit. This is this type shit. Okay, here we go. Let me know if the audio is good, guys, please. Okay, okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yes, she is. This is a good channel, Geek K, and this is another great channel, Running MMA. All rights go to Running MMA. I'm not monetized. This educational purposes only. Great channel, this one. Here we go.
Who really knows anymore, but you get my point. It's not even analogous to talk about WWE legends alongside UFC legends and how they are treated. And number three, even if her comparison was correct, she's still fucking wrong, which we will get into in this next clip.
Because you brought up Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell, when he's on top, oh my God, he's the best, he's the best. The second that he loses, oh, Chuck Liddell ain't shit, he never was shit.
That's not true, you idiot.
You know, and then Rampage Jackson, oh my God, he's the next Mike Tyson, he's so great. Second he loses, oh, Rampage ain't shit, he never was shit.
Also not true.
Yeah.
GSP, oh, he loses, he's not shit, he never was shit.
GSP? GSP? Really? Who said that about GSP? I haven't heard one person say that about GSP. What the fuck are you taking? You've been hanging around with a bunch of... I'm not going to say that.
Anderson Silva, oh my God, he's like he was like almost a mythical creature for a while.
Yeah.
He was like this ninja, and he would hypnotize everyone in front of him. And second he loses, oh, Anderson ain't shit, never was shit.
Who said that? Can you give me an example, Rondi? Hey, Rondi, Blondie, can you give me an example? Who said that? I'm waiting.
Fedor Emelianenko, great, one of the greatest ever. Second he
The greatest ever, in my opinion.
loses, oh, Fedor ain't shit, he never was shit.
Who the fuck said that? Seriously, can you give me one person that said that?
I think the only reason that why MMA fans have their lips so firmly planted at the base of Khabib's cock is because he retired before he reached his limit. And if he kept fighting until he reached his limit, everybody would be like, oh, Khabib ain't shit, he never was shit.
You sure about that?
And they're like that with everybody.
God damn. What the fuck is wrong with this stupid bitch? Excuse my language, but fuck it.
Like name one person, you know?
Name one person that said what you're saying that they said. Name one person, please. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
No, I mean,
Brock,
Who the fuck is this idiot, Bert Kreischer?
Brock ain't shit. He never was shit.
Who said?
Name
I
one past
just-
champion that has that the kind of respect that the current champions do.
Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, Royce Gracie, GSP, Anderson Silva, Demetrius Johnson, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Daniel Cormier. How many have I named? I'm not even thinking. And I've named how many? Matt Hughes, BJ Penn. I can keep going. Are you sure you want to go that route with me, honey?
And it's really sad because I think it encourages
You are really sad.
people to try and get out while they're peaking and leaving and taking all of that equity with them instead of passing it on to whoever's next to take up the mantle.
All right, now this
Jesus Christ. I want to get to the real reason why the fans turned on you, because this is projecting, guys. This is projecting because the fans turned on her why she lost, and there's reasons for that. More than one. And she earned that shit, okay? And I remember that shit like it was yesterday, okay?
entire segment drove
Let me see if anybody has said something in the comments. Jay Will says, I really liked Ronda, can't lie, but her personality definitely not for everybody. Yeah, just to be courteous, right? But no, I mean, listen, there's reasons on top of reasons why people don't like Ronda at all, including me. But okay.
drove me absolutely fucking crazy. Okay, there are so many things wrong with it, it's not even funny, and I don't find it fucking hilarious because it just hurt my head. Chuck Liddell is absolutely fucking loved by the fan base. When he goes to events, he gets thunderous applause.
Yes, yeah, that is a fact. Like when when they do the cameras and they're showing like celebrities and legends and active and former fighters, and some people, when they get the cameras on them, the people go crazy. The three people that I see the folks go the craziest for is Chuck Liddell, Nick Diaz, and Robbie Lawler. Ruthless Lawler. I forgot about Ruthless Robbie Lawler. There's another one. And there's this stupid idiot said, name one past champion that has the respect of current champion. I can name you like 15, you idiot.
Even though he is someone who's older in the sport, that a newer
Cain Velasquez. I forgot about Cain Velasquez as well.
generation fan might not even be aware of, or the impact that he had. Rampage Jackson is also one of the more famous older generation fighters who has a successful streaming
Michael Bisping, Dominic Cruz, TJ. I mean, I can make it rain out here. You definitely don't want to fuck with me on this one.
career, for fuck's sake, which means that people like him and watch him do whatever he does on a daily basis. Now, after that incident with his son, maybe caught a little bit of flack, but it wasn't because he lost a fight. George St. Pierre's last loss was in 2007. Okay, like what the fuck is she talking about? You know, I think
Exactly.
Ronda needs to just wash her hair. I think she would feel a lot better about herself if she just took a fucking shower. Someone should reach out and let her know, okay? Self-help. The guy left on a win with the middleweight title and made Dana White live it.
Yeah, he beat Michael Bisping. That was unbelievable. I thought Michael Bisping was going to knock him out, but he did it, man. That was unbelievable.
Which is something that I want to talk about right after we get through the rest of these fighters that she named. Anderson Silva is absolutely loved, so much so
That's a fact.
that people barely even bring up his failed PED tests.
Another fact.
Now, Fedor, this one ties into the George thing a little bit, okay? Whatever amount these fighters that
The problem with Fedor Emelianenko is that his prime was at an organization that I loved as a fan called Pride FC. But, it's come out that it was run by the Yakuza, and there were fixed fights up the wazoo in that organization. So I get it a little bit with Fedor, but it still doesn't apply. Not even a little bit.
he named are maybe not like respected, I guess, by the fan base is in large part due, at least in my opinion, to the organization, not the fans, okay? A lot of these fighters that she mentioned ended their careers on bad terms with Dana White. Rampage talks about it all the time, how he has a bad relationship with Dana. George St. Pierre really pissed Dana off leaving after he beat Michael Bisping. Dana was mad.
I don't think it was that. I think it was more the fact that we never got GSP versus Anderson Silva, and GSP finally moved up to middleweight to fight Bisping. You know, I think that was more of it. But he could be right.
He could never sign Fedor, and he kind of trashed him like any chance he got asked about him. All of this
Yeah, because he turned them down.
criticism from Ronda, in my opinion, if you want to give it at all, or make the argument at least, should be levied at the promotion, not the fans. Now, for the Khabib thing, I saw a lot of people offended at this, acting as though she was trashing Khabib or some shit, and I just don't fucking get it, okay? She didn't say anything bad about him. He left before he lost. End of discussion. But also, the people that have their lips firmly planted at the base of his dick and balls.
Yeah, like, to put it that way, I mean, listen, Khabib and the Diaz brothers have, in my opinion, one of the most loyal fan bases you will ever see in your life.
Are only a certain sect of the fan base, okay? Ironically, the fan base that would find all of that behavior very haram. Now, we'll probably get more into it after this next clip, but I find it...
And what about Charles Oliveira? Charles Oliveira has like double digits losses. Anybody saying he ain't shit? He never was shit? Rondi Blondie? Anybody saying that? How about Max Holloway? How about Justin Gagey? How about Dustin Poirier? How about what's his guy name? How about goddamn, what's this guy name? Merab just lost. Anybody saying he never was shit? Anybody saying that?
Absolutely fucking hilarious that she wants everyone to retire on a loss now that she had to. But either way, let's move on.
And it's something that I wanted to retire undefeated because I was so afraid of like, oh, everything that I've accomplished is going to be nothing if I ever lose. So I have to retire undefeated. And it wasn't.
Who said that everything you accomplished was nothing? Who said that? No, you don't want to say the real reason. That's what you don't want to say, you idiot.
Until I got into the WWE and saw that, wait, you have to retire on a loss. That everybody in the WWE has to retire on a loss because you have to pass that torch on. And I think
yes and no, but she does have a point there. But it's completely different too. Like, what the fuck?
When in MMA is they're gonna try and take the torch with them because of how the fans respond to it. And then the fans
how do the fans respond to it? What the?
A lot of them have never fought. It's not like football where a lot of people who watch it have done football. And they don't understand how short your shelf life is and how every
that's true. Most of them never fought, but
fight changes you. You know, even if the fight you came out unscathed, you didn't come out of the training camp unscathed. And you know, you can't keep it up for very long. It's just the human body. You're taking impacts to the head. This is your fucking brain. You know, you can't make your brain stronger or more calloused. It's just there's a limit to how much you can take. And as soon as anybody reaches that limit, you ain't shit. You never were shit.
Again, we weren't shit. You never was shit. Where's she getting this shit from? Seriously, who's in your ear? Like, come on, man. Like, seriously. Okay, let me see some comments. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oscar says the Ring magazine has some blame. At that time, she was the first female boxer in the cover. What she? That's true. Talk about getting on this. She got opportunity over opportunity, and a lot of it was undeserved. You remember when that bum ass trainer of hers, his name is Edmund Terverdian, the worst trainer in trainers history, said that she could beat Floyd Mayweather, bro. Like, did you remember that bullshit? Oscar says, meanwhile, Clarissa winning gold where USA didn't feature for the longest and had to win it back to back to be featured in a cover. Yes. Jay Will says, GSP or Silva, what a misfight. Yes, exactly. He eventually won up. That's my thing with GSP. Now, all due respect, obviously. Like he beat Matt Hughes, he beat BJ Penn, he beat Thiago Alves, he beat Carlos Condit, bro. What a fight that was. Good God Almighty. If you haven't seen GSP versus Carlos Condit, I maintain that was GSP's toughest fight of his life. I maintain that. Jay Will says, "What a turnaround for bro! Are you kidding me? What an amazing, what an unbelievable story, Charles Oliveira, bro. He has to be like the longest road to a title ever. Years ago, I thought he was just a journey. Me too. He kept losing to everybody, especially at featherweight. Next thing I knew was, well, yes, yes. If you don't like Charles Oliveira, something wrong with you." Jay Will says GSP. Yes, that was the first fight, lost by stoppage to biggest underdog upset. Oh my goodness, Matt Serra. I remember that fight. I I was so shocked in that fight. I couldn't believe it, man. Biggest upset in UFC history. Anderson Silva lost 11 times, with 6 of those being stoppages from pride and the exactly. Who's saying they never were shit? You never were. Who's saying that? Can you give me one name? No, she can't. If she could, she would. She can't. Jay Will says Demetrius Johnson got dominated by Cruz, split with Cejudo 1-1. They're still the very best with loss. Exactly. That's one thing that I have to give it up to Dana White. I have to give it up. I don't know that he's the sole responsible for this, right? But I have to give it up to him, because he has um, trained his fan base, for lack of a better word, to listen. You are going to get to see the best versus the best, but that 99% of the guys here are going to have losses. It's not like boxing where some bozo call people bomb and expose when they pick up one loss. No, it don't work that way. In MMA, you want to see the best versus the best, I'll give you the best versus the best. But 9 out of 10 dudes are going to have losses in their records. Is that clear? Good. Okay, and it worked. And it's still working. Jay Will says, John Jones is the only one who people argue because it was a DQ with Matt Hamill, stupid ass, what was his name? Masagati, I think was the referee that counted like a 12-6. Exactly, there it is. Was a disqualification, beating his opponent with 12-6 elbows. And that was Mickey as hell. And that was, I think, Matt Hamill, that guy that was deaf, that fought. That won one of the Ultimate Fighters. Laurie Burns, show 420, LB in the house. What's up, bro? God bless you and your family. God bless you and your family, brother. Right back at you. It's a pleasure to have you. We're roasting Ronda Rousey, and then we're gonna roast Francis Ngannou, and I'm gonna get into some news as well. But we're having some fun with Ronda, saying that MMA fans, as soon as you pick up a loss, you ain't shit. You never won. You never was shit. I never heard anybody saying that except for her. So Ronda beating. I thank you for bringing on Misha Tate, because I was just about to get there. Ronda beating Misha Tate and Kat Zingano are probably her 2 best, without a doubt. Kat Zingano was a beast back in the day. People forget, and that fight was like, it's like she beat her before she got going. Like I definitely wanted to see that rematch, but whatever. Exactly. Kat Zingano beat Nunes and Tate beat exactly. Ronda was the first. That was Ronda had the fortune of being in MMA, in women's MMA, when women's MMA was in its infancy. You had 1, maybe 2 chicks that could scrap a little bit. That's about it. It's not like right now when you have Rose Namajunas, Zhang Wei Li, Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso, Amanda Nunes, Cyborg. What's the name of this other Chinese chick? I forget. There's like 3 Chinese chicks now that can really freaking scrap. Like right now, there's a bunch of chicks that will whoop your ass. But nah, she had the she should thank her lucky stars coming up at the time that she did. Now she is a judo Olympic silver medalist. It's not like she's some bum. Like she can definitely grapple. She armbar God knows how many chicks. I get all that, but let's put proper perspective here. You were the first female superstar. Can nobody take that away from you? But you ain't the greatest. Those are 2 different things. Okay. LB says Ronda need to go back to WWE. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that. She can really make it rain out there. Don't get me wrong. And she said what she said to what was it, Nikki Bella? She said like the only door you ever knocked down was the door to John Cena's bedroom. Holy shit, that was a burn. That was nice. That was nice. She'll hit a home run every now and then. I love me some Gina Carano. Who doesn't, Jay Will? Who doesn't, right? Hottie, bro. Come on. Hottest chick ever in MMA. Well, it's between her, Ronda, Misha, and I'm missing one or two. Kat Zingano was hot as hell. Kat Zingano was my girl, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But Gina Carano was smoking hot as well. Yeah, yes, sir. She's doing movies, doing a lot of movies and shit. So I'm happy for her. Let's see.
And again, we get some odd comparison.
Look at all these videos, guys. Yes, she is. This is a really good channel. I've seen this guy a couple of times. This guy as well, Mark Fighting. But okay.
Between scripted pro wrestling and mixed martial arts, it kind of just sounds like cope. Okay, she retired on a loss and now holds the philosophy that everyone.
So hold on a second. So if they never fought, so it means they don't know what they're talking about, right? So is Joe Rogan the same thing? Is John Anik the same thing? Rondi, Blondie, is that the same thing? Has Dana ever fought? Has Dana ever fought? I'm waiting.
Should. And I don't even necessarily disagree. I think it's better for the division when someone loses the belt and retires rather than vacates the belt and then retires. There's always people questioning the next guys fighting for the belt, questioning the next champions, and things like that. But it's a bad comparison regardless. Okay. Then we get her.
It's a horrible comparison.
Her painting the MMA fan base again with a very broad brush. And we've seen people like John Anik do this before.
Oh, and another thing. Does she realize that she's throwing shit to the same fans that bought pay-per-views from her? Does she realize that? Because she came up in the pay-per-view era. This wasn't the ESPN era or the Paramount era or whatever. No, this was the era where you had to pay to see. And she has some of the highest grossing pay-per-views ever. So does she realize that she's literally biting the hand that fed her? Does she realize that, or is she that stupid?
And others where they will act as though the MMA fan base is uniquely bad in some sort of way. Meanwhile, we've seen riots, fires, assaults, murders, all sorts of brutality out of other sports fan bases. But okay, she says that mixed martial arts isn't like football. A lot of football fans rather have played football, but not.
That's a great. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good. It doesn't apply to what she's saying, but it's a good point because I made that point about boxing fans. Like most people have played basketball, most people have played baseball, most people have played football, tennis, golf, all these other things, right? But most people haven't done this. So there's a point there, but it doesn't apply to what she's saying. It does not.
A lot of MMA fans.
And this ain't rocket science either, bro. You watch this stuff seriously for a year or two, you'll know some stuff, okay?
Have fought or done the sport. Now, I would to some extent agree, I think, but I also think there are a lot of fans who have trained in martial arts, have had sparring sessions, or smokers, amateur fights, whatever the fuck, okay? Even if that was the case, though, I don't believe she would suddenly then say, yeah, well, those fans, I guess, are allowed to criticize. Just the ones who haven't ever fought or trained aren't allowed to, because as we will see later, So
Greg Popovich can't talk about basketball because he never played in the NBA, I guess. And the Van Gundys and Spoelstra. And yeah, okay.
Very strongly tries to gatekeep who can and cannot have an educated opinion on martial arts. But either way, let's keep going.
It is true. Here's the weird thing about fighting.
Shut up, dude.
Every dude that stands pissing thinks he's a fucking badass. Every guy thinks, push comes to shove, I'm going to surprise everybody.
Oh, man. If I had a quarter for every guy that has never been in a fight that I could kill with my bare hands talking shit, about my ability to fight, I would make Elon Musk blush, you know? But, you know,
It's true. There's
Everything she says, it's true.
you're just your confidence in movement. Just the simple thing of like, I don't know what to do first.
but it's offensive to some people. Like, oh my God, a highly accomplished woman with a high opinion of herself. Keyboard warriors to war. You know what I mean?
A highly successful woman. You doing the feminist now? Are you serious? Like, you're the same chick that had all these pay-per-views, headline WrestleMania. Like, you couldn't have afforded more opportunities, and you're this is so pathetic, bro.
Yeah.
It's like
I haven't even gotten to the real reason, and she won't because she's too much of a coward to do it. But the real reason why people hate her, I'll get into it in a second.
like I said the other day that I'm the greatest ever, and man,
No, you're not,
everyone flipped the fuck out over it.
and with good reason.
I'm like, how do you define the greatest ever? I define the greatest ever as the person who was the most dominant and the farthest ahead of their time, right? Because you can't judge different eras against each other. You can't judge LeBron
Yes, you can.
against Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's the greatest ever, I'd say, because of the effect that he had on culture, how far ahead of his time he was, and how dominant he was. And no one can say
Don't talk about things you don't know about.
that I haven't been the most dominant or most ahead of my time, and I'll die on that hill. But a bunch of people that have never been in a fight in their lives will, you know, devote a good portion of their day to arguing otherwise. But the great thing for me is that outrage drives engagement.
Okay, now I included this clip for a few reasons. Number one, I would submit that a lot of men
Yeah, that's the same chick that did this.
back in the day regarding women's soccer.
We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport? And we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on?
Feminist bullshit.
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice to the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
What happened to you? Seriously, what happened to that chick? Up to this sorry ass. Like, what happened to you? I know the answer, but you won't say it.
And then we get into the women's GOAT discussion and how she considers herself the GOAT because of a very narrow set of criteria.
All right, enough of this bullshit. Let's see. What's that guy talking? LB, we're just roasting Ronda's dumbass because she's been going on the UFC fans because if you don't agree with her, she gotta hate on you. That's how weak people think. You know, if you don't agree with what they say, they have to attack your character. And he says, while they're getting KO'd, probably, yeah, surely he is. Yeah, for sure. But here's the real reason why people hate Ronda Rousey. And where is that freaking video? Yeah, here it is. Here it is, and here it is. All right, enough of this bullshit. Let me show you this.
One but herself, and spent the next decade proving why she's one of the most hated figures in combat sports.
MMA fans and media are the most "what have you done for us lately" crowd of any sport. Like you look at WWE and they have such a reverence for their legends. And at MMA, it's like the second that you're not on top, you're not shit and you never were shit.
Here's why the woman who built women's MMA became impossible to root for. Ronda flipped Misha off while she was...
Yeah, here's the start, the beginning of the end. Here's the beginning of the end, guys. Pay attention.
was still on the ground in pain, then refused to shake her hand after the fight. Miesha
You see that? You see that?
in pain, then refused to shake her hand after the fight. Miesha
That's where the beginning of the end started. And she won the fight. Okay?
handled it with class. Ronda acted like a child, but because she was undefeated, people excused it. They called it competitive fire. But really, she was just a bully, and bullies who can't handle losing make the worst kind of enemies, themselves. But the Misha beef was personal history. What Ronda did before the Holly Holm fight showed the world exactly who she was. And this time, there was no excuse. November 2015, UFC 193 weigh-ins. Holly Holm extends her hand for the traditional glove touch. Standard practice, a sign of respect. Ronda slaps her hand away, hard, then shoves Holly's fist aside and maintains an aggressive stare. Holly stays calm, professional, but Ronda looks unhinged. After the weigh-in, Ronda's coach Edmund tried to justify it.
This idiot, my God, don't get me started on this bozo.
Said Holly disrespected Ronda first, but watch the footage. Holly did exactly what every fighter does at every weigh-in. Ronda was the aggressor, and 24 hours later, Holly kicked her head off, knocked her out cold, and exposed Ronda for what she really
She felt like a sack of potatoes.
was, mentally broken.
Right, and she lost that fight as she never shook her hand. She stormed out of the octagon and she skipped the post-fight press conference. Whereas, if you look not so far away, Conor McGregor loses to Nick Diaz by rear naked choke, okay, gets exposed, basically blowing the roof out of the place because Conor McGregor was as high as anybody could be as far as fan base and following and everything. And he loses that fight. He shakes hands with Nick Diaz, and he goes to the press conferences and gives Nate Diaz his credit and everything. And that's how a real one takes a loss. She stormed out of the octagon, didn't shake Holly Holm's hand, and she didn't go to the post-fight press conference either to face the music. That's because she's a weak person, guys. A weak person and a bully mentality. That's the real Ronda Rousey, ladies and gentlemen. And she did the same thing when she got her ass whooped against Amanda Nunes. Okay? That's the tale of that tape, guys. Like, let's call it what it is, you know? See, irony, I like that nasty stuff. Ronda had that Floyd effect you watch to see her lose. Well, yes, but interesting analogy. Very interesting analogy. I think it's different, but because people love Ronda at the beginning, including me. What's not to like? This chick breaking barriers, main eventing and everything. She paved the way for MMA, for women's MMA. That nobody can deny that. She paved the way. If nothing else, we need to appreciate her for that. But she has become the example of what not to be in many different things, So that's the problem in my eyes, Holmes showed at Wayne how strong yes, she did. And Holmes is kind of hot herself, since we're on the topic of hot chicks. Holmes ain't too bad herself, Ronda looked weak. No way she was judo. Exactly. No. Holly can box, bro. Holly Holm can box. And she had this bozo head coach getting in her head that she could box and everything. I think Amanda Nunes said that shit once, Let me Ronda Rousey post fight. Yeah, I think Amanda said that. Yes, there it is. There it is. Yes, here it is. Here it is. Watch this. Watch this. How to destroy a career by Edmund Trevert. how to how to destroy the greatest thing that ever walked in your gym.
The clinch and not try to strike with you at all.
I know she's gonna strike with me because she think it because her boxing coach he told her she have a good strike, and I know she's gonna strike a little bit with me. But when when I start to connect some punches, I know she's gonna start wanna clinch me.
It looked like you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We're about to get to Francis Ngannou. Actually, let me get through some boxing news, shall we? Gabe Flores and Joe Cordina promised knockouts to get shot at Abdullah Mason. Okay. Riyadh season. Ooh, this is what I wanted to get to. All right, let me share the screen here. Riyadh season plans for a long-awaited bout between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in 2026. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Let's see. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua has long been one of the biggest fights that could be made in boxing. It's as close as it has ever been to finally happening. Okay. I'm just reading this now, by the way. The ring has learned that a bout between the former heavyweight champions is planned to headline a Riyadh season card in 2026. Oh, excuse me. Before that can come to fruition, though, Fury and Joshua will fight in separate bouts. Okay, Fury as well. Okay, against in early 2026. Joshua's also said to, yeah, we know this. The 6'9" Fury will be coming out of retirement again, yeah, after consecutive defeats to Alexander Usyk. Joshua, 36, is looking to rebound, yeah, from Daniel Dubois. This isn't the first time Joshua and Fury has been close to facing each other. In 2021, the British stars were on the cusp of fighting to crown an undisputed heavyweight champion. Deontay Wilder, however, exercised a rematch clause after Fury stopped him in dominant fashion in the 7th round of the rematch, of course. Okay, who's Fury fighting though? That will be interesting. Who should Fury fight? I don't see any names there, but Fury versus Joshua have been teased throughout their careers. Even if there are no titles on the line, remains. Yeah, of course. It doesn't even need to be a title fight, bro. Their names are big enough, you know. Even if they don't step into the ring to face each other next year, it'll go down as one of boxing's biggest what ifs. Yeah, man. I think this fight needs to happen, you know. I think it needs to happen. Keyshawn Davis details split from former trainer. Ooh, Brian Bomack McIntyre. Seriously? He ain't there anymore? Keyshawn Davis believed he needed a fresh start following the disastrous chain of events that took place. The Andy Dos Santos fight. To protect the kid's integrity in his boxing career, I have no comment on the splitting of the two. Oh boy. Holy shit. McIntyre told the ring. Davis just recently revealed that he made wholesale changes. Amongst them was the axing of former head trainer Bomack when asked to give his opinion. Well, yeah. Okay, well done, Bomack. To protect the kid's integrity in boxing. Oh, man. Together, Davis and McIntyre meshed incredibly well. The former trainer of the year led the 2020 Olympic silver. Oh, excuse me. The 2020 Olympic silver medalist to a handful of wins and a world title victory over Denis Baranchik on February 14 in MSG. Okay, all good so far. We'll see. Hopefully it works out for you. I wouldn't step away from Womack, but whatever. Diego Pacheco and Kevin Lele Saggio make way for the zone main event. That's good to know. Murat Gassiev scores one punch KO against Kubrat Pulev for secondary WBA belt. Well done, Murat Gassiev. Huh? Still at it, man. The old lion, huh? After a tentative start in their KG affair, I didn't see this fight. Um, Former IBF Cruiserweight World Champion Murat Gassi. Murat Gassi is one of the Usyk victims over at Cruiserweight, if you didn't know. Claimed a secondary strap at heavyweight, uncorking a stunning left hook to finish Kubrat Pulev in 6 rounds for the WBA regular, in quotes, title in Dubai. Okay. Um, what else we got? WBC again approves Nunez versus. Is that Jadir Herrera? I think that's him, right? Yep, Ricardo Nunez and Jadir Herrera will fight for the WBC interim lightweight title after all. Mauricio the Penguin Suleiman, president of WBC, informed the ring on Friday that his organization again approved Nunez Herrera as a fight for his interim 135-pound championship now that Oshaki Foster gave it up less than a week after winning it. Panama's Nunez, 26-7 with 22 KOs, ranked number 1 among WBC 135-pounder, and Cuba's Herrera, 17-0 with 15 KOs, ranked 3rd, are scheduled to square off on Ajit Caballero, Damien Niba undercard January 12th over in Germany, Rudolf Weber Arena in Oberhausen, Germany. Okay, so it's a month from today. Okay. Beterbiev. What? Beterbiev says Bivol rejected trilogy offer, open to fighting Benavidez. Oh shit! Really, Bivol rejected the trilogy offer? If this is true, I have serious problems with Dimitri Bivol. Former undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev offered updates on Thursday surrounding the trilogy bout he's been seeking against Dimitri Bivol. Beterbiev said Bivol rejected a significant offer to stage their 3rd fight in Russia, but did not clarify exactly when the offer was declined. Excuse me, I'm yawning a lot, I'm sorry. Beterbiev added that he was not aware of the amount of the offer, but said it's not less than our first 2 fights, which were staged in Riyadh 6. Okay. I am now more focused on the trilogy, Beterbiev told reporters while in attendance of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships in Dubai. Our fight will be most interesting in Moscow. Probably so, yeah. Beterbiev 21-1, 20 KOs beat Bivol in October 2024 by majority decision, and Bivol 24-1, 12 KOs, won the February rematch by UD. Okay. Beterbiev turns 41 in January, has been stuck on the sidelines while waiting for Bivol to make the next move. In July, Beterbiev bashed him for prolonging negotiations, stating that his rival was intentionally aging him. By August, Bivol announced he had back surgery and would be unavailable, etc. He canceled that Stay BC fight against Dion Nicholson. Yeah, he said this. Yeah, I watched some highlights. He did a good job. Of course, I want to fight. It's very important for me to win my titles back. Cruiserweight is also interesting. Oh boy. The expanded Killer Beast. The expanded Beast fight triangle with Benavidez joining his Russian counterparts featured 3 of the ring's top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. Bivol ranked number 5, Beterbiev 6, and Benavidez 9. Yep. Man. We'll see what Bivol has to say, but man. Okay, it says here. Tito Mercado, get the hell out of here. WBC won't sanction Joshua Buatsi versus Ben Whitaker as final eliminator. The WBC canceled its order for a light heavyweight final eliminator between British contenders Buatsi and Whitaker just a week after announcing it. Whitaker had a softball fight. The WBC cited its decision was due to silver championship obligations for Whitaker, Whitaker, 28, won the vacant silver title by virtue of its 130. Yeah, sure. And he looks set to defend it next. Defend the silver? Whatever. Right, exactly. The decision to cancel a final elimination bout due to silver title obligations has left some scratching their heads, given that most boxers fight for the silver title to earn a final eliminator in the first place. Uh, Whatever. I will do France Ngannou tomorrow. Um, that this is what I will do. Um, I'm super tired, man. Let's see what else we got on the news side. Let's stick with the news for a second. Actually, I should be putting the link. I should put the link up just to see if anybody wants to come in and chop it up or chop me up. Three votes, huh? One said, two said no, one said maybe so. Okay, it's looking interesting. It's looking interesting. I have pinned the link. Anybody can come in if they want to. I have whatever time you want. I can give, no problem. But yeah, I'm gonna do the Friends Ngannou show tomorrow. I'm calling some fights, right? But let's see. Okay. Um, I don't see the articles here of the boxing scene. Yeah, more of the same. Who you guys got in Diego Pacheco? Do you know anything about Kevin Lely Sacho? I don't. Actually, I should do my homework on this guy. You know. I guess this would be a short show, I guess, because God, I'm super tired. Golly, what's wrong with me? Long ass day and all the rest of it, but get some water. Ronda, I'm still waiting for you to give me some names of who said that, right? Who said you ain't shit, you never was shit? Who said that? I'm waiting, you know?
You can't talk to the world champion like
And
that.
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Just saying. But yeah, that's about it, fellas. I don't know if anybody want to talk. Let me know. This is Friday. Um, okay, let's see this. Okay, looking for things. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's about it, fellas. We did some news. We roasted Ronda Rousey. We are going to roast Francis Ngannou like holy hell. Um, yeah, I'm just freaking tired to do it right now, but I'm gonna do it next time, guys. That's a promise. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to be calling. I'm probably gonna call the John Cena's last match. Okay. Um, Hopefully, I get the chance to do that, and yeah, that's. I'm gonna catch the Diego Pacheco fight, but I'm probably gonna see that at work because it starts. Let me check this on the weekend. One second. Let me check the zone, and I'll let you know when does that begin because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be working by the time that does. One second. Just waiting for the song to pull up here. Preview show, this and that. Boxing. One second. It starts 5 p.m. Yeah, bunch of preliminary fights and everything, but I'm guessing the fights, the main event, the main card will start like 8 or something. So we'll see. We'll just chalk it up and we'll see, shall we? Um, Nothing live right now, right? Okay. All right, fellas. I appreciate you all. Special thank you to my brother J Will 38 for being in the house. God bless you, brother. Special thank you to my brother Lottery Burton Show 420. I appreciate you very much. Special thank you to my brother El Carnal Oscar Perez. God bless you, brother. You already know. Um, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Thank you, God, for everything. Um, I appreciate every single one of you fellas. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Um, and we will see you soon. I will go live tomorrow to call some fights. If it's too late and the fight's already happened, I will offer a reaction. And we'll take it from there, okay? Francis Ngannou, I ain't letting you off the hook, buddy. Didn't happen today, but it will happen. Trust and believe that, okay? Because he is just taking his legacy and just throwing it to the garbage, you know. In the meantime, fellas, this was your boy Irony Boxing. We shall see you soon. appreciate you all. Peace.